Island claws. What is this? This is terrible. Well, let's get into it. Island Claws is from 1980. It lasts about an hour and a half. And what's the tagline? A terrifying creation of the nuclear age. Okay. This is a movie about killer crabs. Nope. This is a movie about killer crabs. You had that, didn't you? No, that's not. After the success of Jaws, we had loads of these things. Piranha, alligator, slugs, ticks. Think of any animal and there's probably a movie about a killer version of that animal. Cocaine Bear? Yeah, Cocaine Bear. Yeah, that's a bit different. But this, in 1980, was the latest attempt. It sat on a shelf for many years and wasn't released until much later. But yeah, killer crabs this time. Oh, they're so scary. They're not. They look completely harmless and benign. Yeah. Well, anyway. The movie opens in a biolab, a small island off the coast of Florida. We meet our main players, Jan, a young journalist who is interested in what she's heard about this lab. She's heard they are able to grow crabs larger to make them a better food source. Ah, a little bit cruel. No. And we meet Pete, who is one of the teaching assistants at the lab. He shows her around, instantly likes her. Yeah, as soon as he's met her, he goes home and tells his folks, hey, I've met this girl, I'm going to need some more money soon. Calm down. We find out also that Jan's dad is high up in the neighbouring nuclear facility. Yeah, and wouldn't you know, it strings a leak. But it's all good, everyone's safe, it just sends polluted water into the near-die harder. Yeah. Where the already larger than normal crabs are being released. Yeah. Uh-oh. So guess what happens? We get mutant crabs. Well, one. Yeah. There's lots of footage in this movie of the crabs wandering around the beach and they look harmless. They're not bothering anyone. No one's bothering them. They're just like scuttling along quite happily. They're the least scary thing I've ever seen in a day. Kick them. Well, they do become killers, I guess. Right, the first guy they kill, right, so there's a bar where everything happens at night. The town bar is run by a guy called Moody and his partner Rosie. They raised Pete. Pete's mother and father were killed in a drink driving accident, which we later find out was caused by Jan's father. That storyline goes nowhere. Yeah.
Nowhere.
But the bar is the hub of all activity on the island, and there's a guy playing piano. Yeah, a little weirdo. Well, he's just a little slightly eccentric guy. Slightly. Look at his haircut. I never made his haircut. His name is Amos. There's also other regulars, Frank and whoever else. All the usual drunks. Yeah. Well, the first death in the movie is that of Amos. He goes home after a night at the pub and he lives in a bus. He lives in like an old bus he's converted into a sort of home for himself down by the beach. And one night he goes home and a couple of crabs are at his door.
We'd like to talk to you about an exciting...
He hears a noise, he goes outside, he's like, what's that? And he sees a few crabs on the beach near his bus and he's like, oh, no, get away! Yeah. He's more scared than you think he would be. But he is scared, and then he goes back inside the bus, and then the crabs basically follow him in. They invite themselves in, and they're just wandering around, not bothering them. They're not bothering him, but he goes crazy with a broom, starts trying to swat them and swipe them away, and ends up knocking over a torch and setting his home on fire. He gets trapped and burns to death. Yeah. The crabs all just leave. So he basically killed himself. He did. Yeah. It's ruled as an accident. Anyway, later on, Pete and Jan do go on a date. Yeah, with two annoying people. Well, yeah, Chuck and his girlfriend. Only girlfriend. because he asks her to marry him in front of these two on this first dinner double date. And she's like, no. Yeah. Chuck and his girlfriend go off on a drive to sort things out. She decides to walk home. She walks home through the forest and instantly gets attacked by crads. But she must have made it most of the way back because Chuck's already back at the bar. He's sitting with Pete and Jan and they hear this young lady screaming. We go and find her, take her to hospital. And the doctor is like, oh, she was saying something about crads before she passed out. This guy is terrible, this doctor.
Did she say anything?
Yeah, she kept saying something about a crab, but it didn't make any sense.
We're doing some research on crabs.
Oh, yeah, that'd explain it.
At some point, Jan cycles home as well, and the crads knock her off her bike. She calls Pete for help, and he just laughs at her.
Hi, what's up? You've been what?
Yeah, and Pete tries several times in this movie to kill dogs in his truck. This is not part of the script, not part of the story or the movie. It's just the dogs are allowed to run in front of this truck. There's also a group of Haitian people who have come to the island. They're on the run from somewhere. Yeah, there's a helicopter chasing them. Yeah. Don't know why. But they're sort of hiding out in the forest, sneaking out at night, stealing fishermen's fish so they can survive. A little girl goes too near the edge of the forest and gets knocked out by something unseen. So they're like, oh no, what do? We can't tell people we're here. But the little girl's in trouble. So they give it a day. They think, hopefully she'll be fine. She is not. No. One of them comes out carrying the little girl, finds Moody and says, please help us, this little girl's hurt. So Moody says, right, let's take her to the hospital. But before they can get there, it all kicks off. Because Pete and Jan, while looking for clues as to what happened to the other girl and what's been going on the island, they head to Moody's house while he's out, and a gigantic 200-foot crab crashes through the ceiling. I don't know if it's 200 foot, but it's massive. A big claw comes through the ceiling, destroys Moody's house. He's like, my house.
It's my house.
And it is indeed a giant crab. The giant crab kills a couple of guys, one of the Haitians, and one of the drinkers just picks that guy up and crushes him and drops him. Yep, so now Moody and Pete decide we can take it. You can't. Moody keeps shooting at it with a shotgun, no effect at all. So they decide, oh, that's not working, let's try a tranquilizer gun. What? They do try the tranquilizer, nothing works, nothing happens. And then they decide, let's go back inside. And they replace the tranquilizer darts with poison darts. Yeah. So, Pete and Niddy go back out. Niddy's flashing a can or a flash in the crab's face to blind it or disorient it or something, I don't know. Pete takes the tranquilizer, well, the poison, and then the crab picks him up. Yeah. Oh no, I think it picks up Moody. Right, whatever. It picks up one of them. Yeah, I think it is Niddy. And while he's grabbed, Pete starts stabbing the crab's eye. Jesus. It just shatters like glass, because that's what it's made of. Eventually they get the poison in the mouth of the crab, and $1 million, by the way. What? $1 million. What's $1 million? That crab. The model? Yeah. The movie cost $4 million, $1 million on this crab, and then the whole project was shelved for years. Well, that seems like a lot of money wasted. But anyway, they feed the crab the poison. The crab lets go of Moody, drops to the beach, and then, tentatively, people start to approach the fallen crab. And the movie ends. Yeah. There's no last jump scare. There's no making sure the crab's dead. There's no last unexpected attack from the crab or the little crabs. Now the big crab's dead. The movie just ends. Yeah, so Just 3 saying end. The little crads, they're still killing people. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, what do you think of that? Absolute rubbish. Cheap as kits. Very cheap, but well, obviously not with a $4 million budget. But there's a reason you've never heard of this movie. It's not great. It is entertaining in a way, and it's I would say if you've got 90 minutes to spare, stick it on. It's not going to offend you. Definitely not. It's rubbish. Anyway, hit like, hit subscribe, we'll watch another video.